Welcome to the Missouri License Practice Test. This test is designed to help you prepare for actually taking the Missouri Prepaid Legal Insurance Test, which is required in the state of Missouri to receive your license to market prepaid legal. My name is Jim Shelvy, and I'm joined today by Lauren Shelvy, my wife, who has helped me put together this practice test along with all the market leaders here in St. Louis and around the entire state. Let's get started.
Number 1. According to Missouri law, a prepaid legal producer must complete which of the following hours of continuing education every 2 years before renewing their producer license? A. 6 hours, B. 12 hours, C. 16 hours, or D. None.
The answer is D. At this time, there is no requirement for continuing education in order to renew your prepaid legal producer license.
Number 2. The Missouri Director of Insurance is A. Elected by special election every 4 years, B. Appointed by the Governor, C. Appointed by the Missouri Attorney General, or D. Selected by a special citizens panel chaired by the Lieutenant Governor.
The answer is B. Appointed by the governor. That is almost always going to be the answer as far as the director of insurance being appointed to a position. It's going to require the governor to make the appointment, and it's going to have to be approved by the Senate.
Number 3. How many days prior to the adoption of any rule or regulation or any amendment thereof that is not in conflict with Missouri state law shall the director give notice of a hearing on the proposed action? A. 10, B. 15, C. 30, or D. None of the above.
The answer is B. 15 days. Basically, the director is going to have 15 days to do anything unless you're in trouble, and then they have to speed up the process.
Number 4. If the Director of Insurance decides to examine the affairs and good faith of an insurance provider in Missouri, the cost of the examination will be borne by A. the state, B. funds allocated to the Director's budget for conducting examinations, C. the company being examined, or D. the producers for the company.
The answer is C. Remember, the director of insurance has the ability to examine whoever they want whenever they want, and if they do it, you're paying for it.
Number 5. If the director believes that a person is engaging in, or has taken a substantial step towards engaging in an act, practice, omission, or course of business constituting a violation of the laws of this state relating to insurance in this state, the director can take the case to court where, if found guilty, the court may A. issue a permanent or temporary injunction, restraining order, or declaratory judgment, B. order other appropriate or ancillary relief, which may include an asset freeze, an appointment of a receiver or conservator, which may be the director, for the defendant or the defendant's assets, and impose a civil penalty or forfeit as provided in Section 374.049. C. Impose an order of restitution or disgorgement directed to a person who has engaged in an act, practice, omission, or course of business in violation of the laws or rules relating to insurance. D. All of the above.
The answer is D, all of the above. When you have a really wordy question like that, it's important to just kind of look at all aspects of the question, and if there's part of it that's true on multiple, then you know that it's going to be D, all of the above. For example, if A and B are both correct, and the only options are A, B, C, or D, and D is all of the above, then the answer has to be D, all of the above. But just a tip on this type of question as well. It says if the director believes that a person has engaged, is engaging, or has taken substantial step towards engaging in, then the director has the ability to do this. Remember that the director can do whatever they want, whenever they want. That's a really common theme and really important for you to keep in mind.
Number 6. A producer failing to renew their license by the expiration date has how long to do so before he must pass the licensing test again? A. 90 days, B. 6 months, C. 30 days, or D. 12 months.
The answer is D. You have 12 months to renew your license after its expiration. Otherwise, you have to take the test again.
Number 7. A producer failing to renew by the expiration date must also pay an additional fee of A. $1 per day, B. $2 per week, C. $30 per month, or D. $25 per month.
The fee is $25 per month, so D is the correct answer.
Number 8. A producer who changes address or name must notify the director of the change within A. 15 days, B. 30 days, C. 45 days, or D. 6 months.
The answer is B, 30 days. Remember, if you have to do it and you're not in trouble, the answer is almost always going to be 30 days.
Number 9. Failure to timely inform the director of a change in legal name or address may result in a forfeiture not to exceed the sum of blank dollars per month. A. $100, B. $50, C. $250, or D. $10 per month.
The answer is D, $10 per month. If you fail to do it within the 30 days allotted, then it is $10 fine per month.
Number 10. When an associate receives their license or is terminated by Legal Shield has how many days to enter their name and license info into their register of appointed insurance producers or notify the Director of Insurance of termination? A. 10 days, B. 20, C. 30, or D. 90.
The answer to this one is C, 30 days. Just a tip here. It says when an associate receives their license or is terminated by Legal Shield, then Legal Shield has how many days to do something. Remember that if you do something and you're in trouble, the time may be short. But in this case, it's Legal Shield or Prepaid Legal Company, whichever company it may be. So they are not in trouble. They have 30 days to comply.
Number 11. Must Prepaid Legal notify the director of the reason for termination of an associate?
Yes, of course. The company must notify the director for the reason of termination because it is in the public's best interest to know.
Number 12. May the director bring proceedings against the associate based on the prepaid legal reason for termination of the associate?
Yes, of course. The director can do whatever they want whenever they want.
Number 13. If the director suspends, revokes, or refuses to issue or renew a license pursuant to Section 375.141, shall he or she provide public notice?
Yes, the director has to provide public notice. Remember that if there is a suspension, revocation, or refusal to issue or renew a license, then there's a reason, and it's in the public's best interest to know that reason.
Number 14. Can an associate receive renewal commissions for Missouri sales if they are no longer licensed in Missouri?
Yes, you can receive renewal commissions provided you were licensed at the time that the product was originally sold.
Number 15. No person shall solicit an insurance contract in Missouri unless she or he is a licensed insurance company, its employee, or an insurance producer. Which of the following is not considered solicitation of an insurance contract in Missouri? A. Dispensing brochures and other general information so long as there is no conversation relating to the terms of an insurance contract. B. Scheduling appointments with insurance producers to discuss insurance. C. Advising a prospective purchaser on the terms of existing coverage. D. A and B only.
The answer to this question is D. Both A and B are correct. If you look at the question, you will notice that those two are causing you to take action on behalf of a licensed person. You are not actually doing anything for yourself, such as advising a prospective purchaser on the terms of existing coverage. And they're all going to be generally speaking. You're scheduling appointments with an for an insurance producer, or you're dispensing brochures and other general information, so long as there is no conversation related to the terms of the insurance contract. So those are all really general, and the answer is going to be D. A and B are correct.
Number 16. Which of the following is not considered the sale of an insurance contract in Missouri? A. Signing binders, certificates of insurance, commitments, endorsements, insurance identification cards, and insurance policies. B. Receiving and recording information from an applicant or policyholder and preparing an application for insurance pursuant to instructions from and for the review of an insurance producer. C. Issuing certificates of insurance, endorsements, binders, commitments, insurance policies, or insurance identification cards except when done by a group policyholder. D. Indicating that the requested coverage is or will be bound or issued.
The answer is B. It is not considered the sale of an insurance contract in Missouri when you're receiving and recording information from an applicant to give to a licensed person for insurance pursuant to instructions from and or for the review of the insurance producer. So you're basically just doing clerical type work for a licensed insurance producer.
Number 17. True or false? A non-resident producer who moves from one state to another state, or a resident producer who moves from this state to another state, shall file a change of address within 60 days of the change of legal residence.
The answer is false. You have 30 days to notify the director of any change in name or address. You completed Section 1. Continue this license practice test on Video 2, Section 2.